Anyway, thanks for your time today, Matthew. I know there are lots of people who would like to get involved in the solo ad business and not quite sure how to go about it, as well as a few who have been involved in solos for a while and would like to take their business to the next level and would be keen to hear what you have to say about solos. So, I mean, the first thing people ask me about solos is, can you really make any money with it?
Yeah, well, that's it. Well, I mean, there is definitely money to be made, but I do think, my honest opinion is it is pretty competitive, and you've got to like stand out from the crowd to be able to sell your solos. There's a few things that you could do which really helps, and that's getting testimonials of people. And that you can, if you over deliver to people and give them a good customer service, and then if you give them good traffic and then ask them for a testimonial, I think that really, really helps you a lot make sales, and people will come back then for more as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay,
But
and the other thing, everybody wants to do it for nothing. I mean, can it be done on a shoestring budget? Or any strategies there to get started, especially at a minimal cost?
yeah, it can be done really, really cheaply, but it's about speed and stuff like that. So if you've got a load of money to plow into it, you can do it at lightning speed. But if you are on a budget, then it can be done, and that's really through banking, which is when you send people clicks, and basically they owe you clicks back. So if you can get your banking going, you can start off with just a few clicks,
Yep.
and bank those few clicks, and then you can get a few clicks back, and then you can do swaps as well. So when your list is really small, if you're only getting a few clicks, then there's a lot of people out there that will do a click swap where you mail to your list. You may only get maybe 20 clicks or 50 clicks or something like that, but then you do a swap, and that will slowly start building up your list, and it won't actually cost you any money at all. So you can do it, but it's a speed thing, it'll go a lot slower. Yeah, that's it. If you've got money to invest, you can get your list up, up and running within literally a couple of weeks. You can be on $100 a day, no problem. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you're just starting out, what are the three things that you'd do? What are the things that you find it most necessary to do?
well, I think it's a good idea to have an offer in your funnel, because there's two different ways really that I know of which work well to build a list. One is you can have your redirect page. So after a subscriber opts in, you could redirect them straight to your banking partners. And the other way is having an offer in your funnel.
Okay.
And what this would do is keep the cost of your traffic right down. So a funnel that works well is having a $27 offer, then having a no thanks link at the bottom of the page, and having a $17 offer. And then what you can do is have a no thanks link and then have a $1 offer as well, which is you can just use PLR for it.
Yeah.
And you can, get a whole bunch of stuff. So you can get some graphics, you can get a plugin, some software, and make it look like a really, really good, no-brainer offer. And that offer is just $1. And if you can get, a good percentage of people to buy that dollar offer, that's going to keep the cost of your traffic right down.
Sure. Excellent. When it comes to email swipes, has you got any tips on how to create an email swipe?
Yeah, I have got a couple of tips, because that is something that if you're sending out a lot of emails, there's times when you're tired, or you've just done so many emails that you kind of get washed out from sending so many emails. And a couple of tips I've got is you can subscribe to other people's squeeze pages and get on their lists.
Okay.
So if you use a separate Gmail account or something just for opting into other people's forms, you can go into that account, and you can get inspiration from that account. You can see what kind of emails are being sent out, and then you can maybe take a little bit from one email, a little bit from another, or you can change things around a bit and get inspiration from that. And another really good tip as well is actually just looking at people's squeeze pages as well. So quite often they'll have a headline and they'll have a lot of text, and you can just use that headline straight off a squeeze page as your headline in an email, and that works really well because these guys have worked on the copy and stuff like that. So if they've got a good squeeze page that's been optimized, then that headline is going to work in your email as well. Also, what I do is I have a email follow-up series, and you can see the open rate on that follow-up series, so you can see what emails are working well in your follow-up series, so you can change them out, and you can move the best ones up to the top so they're nearer the top, because you're going to get a better open rate in those first few emails that are opened.
I mean, solos is a numbers game. What do you do to track? What do you do to track what works and what doesn't?
Well, like I say, with the follow-up series, you get a percentage of what's working, and then with your broadcasts as well. I mean, I use Aweber mainly, and with your broadcasts, you can get all the stats and everything from those broadcasts. To keep your clicks up as well, you can clean your list as well.
Yep.
And for tracking, I use ClickMagic, which is quite new, and you get really good stats from that as well.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. One of the things people talk about on forums is how with solos your list goes stale pretty quickly. What do you do to keep your lists fresh?
Yeah. Well, like I say, you can clean your list a lot as well. It's a good idea to get rid of a lot of the third world countries, India and stuff like that.
Yep.
So if you get rid of those, the quality of your traffic is going to be a lot better.
All right.
Yeah, can you say that question again, Ian?
Just to keep your list fresh, what strategies?
Yeah, that's
use?
it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and of course you need fresh subscribers all the time. Yes. So you've always, from when you're selling your solo ads, you always need to be buying new traffic and getting fresh leads in all the time. You don't ever let that stop.
Okay.
And if you can build up your banking partners when you're banking 500 clicks at a time, then you can get a circle of traffic coming in. So as you're banking with other partners and they owe you clicks, you've got other banking partners which are sending you traffic. So you've always got that circle of traffic. So you've always got fresh subscribers coming in.
Yeah. You talk about buying solos from other people. What do you do to check to see that you're getting a reliable source of traffic? Because I know there's a few shonky dealers out there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a good thing you can do is go to testimonial groups and look to see what testimonials are in Facebook groups, so you can see what kind of, if they're a good seller or not. Yeah. And I always buy a small solo ad from somebody before I buy a big one.
Okay.
I was talking to someone the other day that spent something like $10,000 with somebody. And and they ended up with really bad traffic, and half the traffic wasn't even delivered. So always buy a small solo ad first before you go in for anything too big, and just test out the traffic.
Yeah, okay. I mean, newbies might be frightened off with talk about creating a squeeze page. I mean, how complicated or how simple is it to make an effective squeeze page? You talked earlier about using a headline from some other people in your email subjects. What about for squeeze pages?
Yeah, I mean, squeeze pages are pretty easy to make. There's different ways you can do it. You can get HTML templates. You could even go to Fiverr and get somebody to make you a squeeze page on Fiverr.
Yep.
If you use HTML, I always use FileZilla and Composer, which is two really easy. One's an editor, so you can edit your squeeze page.
Yep.
FileZilla, you can upload it to your website. There's probably loads of tutorials on YouTube. Once you've sort of done it a couple of times, that's dead easy. You can also get plugins which make squeeze pages. And then once you've got your squeeze page, it's a good idea to optimize your squeeze page and do some split testing. There's different ways you can split test. You can split test through ClickMagic, which will do it automatically and then send you an email, which is your best page. And there's a really good site called Website Optimizer, which once you've got your squeeze page, it'll split test it for you, so it'll change like the color of the text or whatever, and you just change one thing at a time until you've optimized that squeeze page.
Okay.
But really making squeeze, you don't even, if you're brand new to it, you don't even have to, make a squeeze page. You could literally just go and buy one for $5 and then watch a YouTube tutorial and upload it to your server.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. For those who've been in the solar business for a while and want to take it to the next level, what piece of advice would you give them?
Well, really, I mean, it's just increasing your list, filtering out buyers as well is a really good thing. And a lot of people don't know how to do that, because obviously your buyers traffic is going to be a lot better quality, and, you can actually start making a lot more sales with it rather than just selling clicks, and that would be kind of taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
And to split, because you see a lot of people posting, saying, buyers list included and everything.
Yep.
Well, really, that just means they've got a few buyers on their list, and they don't know how to split them. So if you want to split your buyers off, which is a really good idea to do, because then you'll have a much better quality list as well as your solo list, is before they go to download their, if you've got a PLR product in your funnel, before they go to download that, you make another squeeze page, which is a double opt-in squeeze page, and then you make a rule in your Aweber account. So they buy their product, and then they go to a page which says, before you can download your product, please complete your registration here. You make the rule in Aweber, which will then, as they opt in on that form, it will then remove them from your solo ad list.
Yep.
And put them onto your buyers list then.
Yeah.
And that way you filter out the very best traffic, and you pick out the buyers from all these sort of solo ad lists, and then you can really take your email marketing up to the next level, and you can start making, they say $1 per subscriber. So, if you can sort of pick out, 2,000 buyers from maybe a 10,000 solo ad list, then you should be making 2,000 a month just from affiliate sales separately from your solo ad list.
Excellent. That's a good piece of advice, Matthew. Finally, what would be the biggest mistake people make when building a solo business?
Yeah, the biggest mistake is probably sort of sending bad traffic, because people just send any old traffic.
Yes.
And if you're sending people bad traffic, then no one's going to come back to you again, and no one's going to buy off you again, and you're going to get a bad reputation, which ultimately is just going to kind of ruin everything for you. So, send good traffic and, good customer relations with other solo vendors. If there's a problem, or, they dispute the amount of clicks, then, most of the time it's not worth arguing, just send them some more clicks and keep them happy. Like, another tip here is using rotators as well, which I could give you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people get confused about using rotators and how to actually manage their clicks. And a simple way of doing it is you have your clicks in, your clicks out, and your banking rotator. Mm-hmm. And if you use rotators, then you have maximum control over what links are out there. So if you just put a straight link into an email and send it out, then once that email has gone out, then you've got no control over that link. Whereas if you use a rotator and you send out the one single rotator link, then if it's an offer and it's not converting or something like that, you can always switch out that link, and you still have control over what people see in that email.
Sure.
So use rotators. Yeah.
That way you certainly keep control, and you make maximum use of your clicks, obviously, that way. All right then, Matthew. Thanks very much for your help. That's much appreciated.
Yeah, all right, Ian, no problem.